It is late at night and we are off the grid. And while both of those things are true, I cannot vouch for anything else in the world, very truly. But here it is after 11 o'clock on a Monday night. And let's see, let's see how we are on power. A little lower now. I took my power reading. Let's go to how much power we use today. My power reading was a little bit earlier in the day today. And what we had blue skies earlier, and then we had a lot of gray skies roll in. We had a kind of a rainy day yesterday too. And then it lightened up again today, and it's supposed to be sunny tomorrow. And so here we're sitting about 33%. That's after kind of a grayer day or a really rainy day and not a lot of sunshine the following day. So that's where we're sitting at just in terms of our overall power. Is it enough to qualify for switching over to car tonight to get some supplemental power? Absolutely. But also, I think we're going to make it. I mean, I know we're going to make it. We've got a power wall, 33%. Essentially gives us a power wall. We have 3 power walls, so I figure each one is about a third of our system. And we can easily make it overnight in a power wall. And so here you can look at what we used energy-wise, a couple of spikes. You start to see the spikes, which is the green there, where the heat is running. And that's when you see we've got some extra power usage. And it all came from the power wall. That's basically what that was saying. We hadn't generated a lot. This was early in the morning. This is 8:45 in the morning. So again, it kind of the clouds rolled in, the rain rolled in, and we didn't produce that much power in the morning just because we're producing by nature of being in the fall now and certainly coming closer to the winter. We're producing less power later in the day. And so come in the summertime, come 7 or 8 o'clock, we start producing some decent power, half a kilowatt, enough to significantly run our house and bank some extra power. But in the fall, it's really 9 o'clock that we can start to count on even a fraction of that power. So I digress. All that to say, we got enough power for tonight, which is a good thing. And the last couple of days have been challenging, not just from a power standpoint, but I've been dealing with some of my own symptoms from my multiple sclerosis, and it's kind of kicked my butt the last few days. And also, our dog Huckleberry ate a chocolate bar. Luckily, he's doing much better today. He's had an upset stomach, and he needed a lot of rest. And I would have given him some green tea, but I did read that we probably shouldn't do that. But a sock would do for him. But as you could tell, Huckleberry is back in action. I'm back in action, and those are really good things. So we both got to utilize some of our energy today, and we both got to store a little bit when we needed it. So that's a good thing. So good for me, good for Huckleberry, good for us. And also, just to give you a sense of what our solar system looked like, because I did take this video. I think I took this one yesterday, a couple days ago, but I did want to bring it up. This is our 36 panel array on our purpose-built solar shed. All I mean by purpose-built is that we just built it for the reason of collecting the sunshine. You could see our house there in the background, our studios and things like that. And so I said 36 panels mounted on the back of this solar shed that's at roughly a 40-degree angle, just to catch as much sun as we can. And so that's how much power we use today. And so let's say this, I'm going to do a quick, this made me happy just because I have a longer food for thought. I have a longer, interesting food for thought, but what do I know? But this did make me happy today. And I want to switch over to it and preface it by saying, so if we switch over to the car tonight, what we end up with is powering our house with a vehicle. So for our intents and purposes, it's vehicle to load. Essentially, it's vehicle to home, but vehicle to home is a more all-encompassing setup where you might get an intermediary box between the car and the house. So it's not just acting like a generator, it's recognizing it as a vehicle to home situation, a V to H. Vehicle to load is just recognizing it as power, which is great, but it would be nice to have a little bit more control in that. But I got sidetracked. But That being said, this caught my eye. And I know it's just a jet ski. And one of the things that this caught my eye for a few reasons. One of the things that I think has been lacking in, let me post me up on here too. One of the things that I think has been lacking in the electric vehicle industry is the adaptation of water sports and marine, ecological, fisheries, things of that nature, where there's an opportunity to be out in the water to be able to utilize, cleaner power, alternative energy sources, and I think just a more efficient way of going about a business on the water. And so I was reading this article, and this article was titled, ironically enough, or I don't know if ironic's the right word, but yes, an EV really can power your home if it's one of these. And so I was scrolling through this, and it was like, oh, I saw basically modern EVs. The Acura RSX doesn't exist. 2026 Chevy Bolt doesn't exist. Ford F1 Lightning does exist. This can produce a good amount of power to your house, you need. So there's a lot of caveats to that, because we ran that experiment, and we should try to do that again and film it, because we did it years ago when the Lightning came out, and our friend got one, and we had we couldn't push the power from the Lightning through to our double bonded, double grounded panel to switch over to power our house from the car. We needed some more proprietary equipment from that, but I digress. Again, Kia EV9. What I don't see on here, pretty much all GM EVs. Pretty much, I'd like to see the list. Taiga Orca at WXC. This is what caught my eye. Also, notice Hyundai Ioniq 5 is not on the list, and we are literally powering our house with our Ioniq 5, and we do that all winter, late fall, winter. So I feel like it should be on the list, but that's okay. I digress. The Taiga Orca WX3 Canadian startup has been offering high-performance electric watercraft for several years now. For 2026, their third-gen offering features automotive-grade fast charging that will allow riders to plug into the same fast charging networks their electric cars and trucks use. That seems to make a lot of sense. I like things that make sense. Getting them back in the water in 30 minutes or less. How long do they last? That I wonder. That said, this isn't an article about fast charging your PWC, personal watercraft. Taiga is incorporating bidirectional charging into all its electric watercraft as of 2026, turning the personal watercraft EVs into a mobile energy resource that can recharge equipment at the dock, power hotel loads on larger yachts, or bring power, this is the most important one, I think, bring power to an off-grid cabin or campsite. I think it's a pretty neat way to think about reallocating power. And I think it's a pretty neat way to think about alternative energy being used in a way that is both, like a leisure activity, just something to fun, but then actually providing a practical quality of life upgrade when it's not serving its purpose on the water. So I think that's pretty cool. That made me happy. It looks pretty slick. It looks like it could move, and it would be a bit of fun. And so that made me happy. So switching from that, I think we could switch. That was my quick. This made me happy. Aside from Huckleberry feeling better, at the end of the day, that really made me feel. That made me feel great. This was like a win-win-win, right, buddy? Yeah. So the next thing we got to go to here, though, is my food for thought. And the food for thought is really the title. It's, France hit hard on the family jewels. It's Napoleon's jewels. But I mean, I can't believe, I can't believe kind of how it happened and what they got away with. This was just so interesting. This robbery at the Louvre. I want to watch a video. Oh, so my food for thought. I skipped over the whole thing. I looked up chocolate croissant on Wikipedia, and Wikipedia is like, chocolate croissant doesn't exist. See pain au chocolat. I don't know if my pronunciation is any good on that. So this was pain au chocolat, which you think looks like goes back way, way, way long ago, but it doesn't. Doesn't go back that. I don't even think it goes back as far as these jewels go back. To be perfectly honest with you, I didn't even date them, but we could certainly test that theory out. But that being said, not since this happened, not since this happened at the Louvre, and the Mona Lisa was taken or repatriated to Italy. That's another story for another day. This is a very different type of robbery. I don't think the Mona Lisa theft was necessarily intended to make anybody rich. I genuinely think that it was trying to be repatriated to Italy. It was created by an Italian. It was Da Vinci that painted it. Michelangelo, Da Vinci that painted it. I don't know whoever painted it, but it was an Italian in the Renaissance. And so this is a very different situation that happened. So let's watch. Let's see if we can tune in to a little bit of a. Let's see here, BBC. Didn't press the right button, but I'm going to. I'm going to figure this out. We're going to figure this out. There we go. All right. Can you see me now? Nope. Nope. Do I got to remove that? Bear with me. Oh, I don't know why. I don't know why it's not working. I don't know why it's not working. I had it all lined up. Oh, is it because it won't let me? Because it's like the BBC thing? Let me share this one. I think it's because it's a BBC thing. It won't let me share the... Does this pop up? Oh, this is just going... This is going all kinds of sideways right now. But that's all right. We're going to stick with this. We're going to figure this out. There's me. There's Big Me. All right. We're making progress here. How do I share my screen on this, though? How come I can't? Let's see. Share this tab. It says I'm sharing the tab. Is that not just... It's just not coming up. For whatever reason, it's just not coming up. Just interesting. I don't know why. Let me try this. See, I had this whole... This is so fascinating to me. And I could just wing it. I mean, I feel like I have a good enough handle on... Share this tab. Nope, none of this is popping up. I wonder why. Anybody else wonder why? Oh, there we go. Okay. We might be on to something here. I might have figured it out. Thanks for bearing with me. That's super annoying, but I get it. It happens. So does that mean that I can now go back and share the BBC? It wasn't the BBC's fault. Here I am blaming the BBC. Let's go to this.
To visitors today as 60 investigators try to find members of a gang
60
who
investigators.
stole crown jewels from the museum. The thieves arrived about 9:30 yesterday morning, local time, and used a lorry with a ladder to reach a balcony. That got them access to the museum's Apollo gallery, where they used cutters to grab the precious jewelry.
Is that the Apollo Creed gallery by any chance? Was that dedicated in memory of the late great Apollo Creed? That's my guess.
Were taken to more.
If Apollo was there, these would have been safe. Or if Rocky was there, these would have been safe. Or if half of the guards that are now looking for these thieves were there, this probably would have been safe. Or if the security system was working, or if one of the security cameras was on, or if the guards just didn't run out. I digress. Let's just keep listening.
Scene apparently having been dropped. The raid was over in just 7 minutes. It has reignited a debate about security levels.
Is that fast or is that not fast? What can you do in 7 minutes? I wonder, what are the things you could do in 7? I guess that's pretty fast. In order to roll up to the Louvre, set up shop, they rolled up in a utility truck with a like a boom lift on it or something like that. It probably says later in this article and in this video. They rolled up with like a boom lift and a electric ladder. It was called an electric ladder on this thing, extended it up to the roof of the first floor, smashed that window of the second floor, which window was that? That was this window. Smashed this window up on the second floor here. Seems like a pretty easy and obvious target, which apparently was also smashable. You'd figure, I mean, I guess they're old windows. I can understand that. Let's see. Questions over museum
Last
security.
month, the Natural History Museum in Paris, gold samples worth more than £500,000 were stolen from there. And from the city of Limoges, 2 dishes and a vase were taken, items worth more than £5.5 million.
Yeah,
Andrew Harding,
you might want to
Satis,
keep
the
track of
latest
this
from
stuff.
Paris.
The world's busiest museum closed again today.
Money back.
The staff offering refunds.
This Korean
All
food,
right.
like
There's this article
we
too.
can
Let's
have
just
money
check out
back.
this article real
The
quick
crowd-
because this one looked pretty cool too. Now that we're diving into the whole thing here. Let's see here. This was how the Louvre gang carried out. How many people do you think this was? They said this is 4 people. So they say, let's get back to this. They say this is 4 people, and they came in either on this truck. They left on motorbikes. They left on really zippy motorbikes, and apparently, so they came in 9 o'clock, 9:30 in the morning. Not super late at all. And apparently, so they roll in with this truck with a boom lift on it and a ladder, a boom lift and a ladder. I mean, if that's not like suspicious as to, I mean, I guess you could be changing lights or you could be doing something. But when you roll up right next to the Louvre, in front of the Louvre, on the Seine side where the river is, with a ladder on your truck, and you set a ladder up very suspiciously. Oh, they got a. There was a picture very suspiciously onto that balcony, that set kind of first floor balcony. Then you smash a window, which has to make noise. You go inside 3 galleries, I think 1 or 2 of which the cameras were broken, but all of which the alarms seem to not be working or not working properly. I guess there was a greater alarm that went off, but the individual alarms for those rooms seemed not reliable. And then I read articles that said either they had disc cutters or they had chainsaws or they had some kind of a I don't know, a way to smash through the windows or cut steel or get. It honestly seems like these guys went to the Home Depot and got a bunch of tools to rob the Louvre from the Home Depot. It doesn't really seem more complex than that. And so they, within 7 minutes, got that ladder up there, climbed up there, smashed the windows, scared the guards, smashed the boxes that contained the jewels or the display cases, took, I guess it was 8 precious, priceless pieces of jewelry that had thousands and thousands. One piece had like 1,100 diamonds in it. It was like 50 rubies or whatever it was. Like tons and tons of jewels. I'm sure we could keep zooming through this thing. I'm sure this article actually has useful information if I took the time. How did the thieves get in? So you can see along the Seine. What are we looking at here? Yep, there's the ladder. So there's the truck. You can see it there. They climbed up, doop, 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 broke that window. Here's the Apollo Gallery. Nathan Apollo. At 9:30, 2 members of the 4-strong gang began climbing the ladder onto a balcony leading onto a double window. The glass and wooden panes were little match for the gang's motorized angle grinder. Motorized angle grinders. They had battery-powered grinders from the Home Depot. Could have been Lowe's. I don't know. What do they have in France? France probably has Le Home Depot. Depot sounds French. French authorities have confirmed that the opulent gallery's windows are not reinforced. Yeah. Why reinforced? There's only hundreds of millions of dollars worth of jewelry in there. Why would you reinforce those windows? By 9:34, the thieves were inside. Unarmed guards fled as the masked intruders stormed towards them with their power tools. Now, only a few inches of glass stood between them and the items of incalculable value. Fancy room. Nobody thought to reinforce the windows. Yeah, or the display cases, apparently. They had gained access to the Gallery of Apollo, lavish hall, yada, yada, yada. This is the window they broke into with an angle grinder. An angle grinder. That my studio, I have a little art studio. My studio, I think, is more secure than the Louvre. The collection of items, yada, yada, yada. Footage obtained. Oh, that's somebody. See, they had vests on. They had those yellow vests on. They were totally coming in as construction crew on the outside and just thinking nobody would notice in broad daylight. It's brazen. Gotta give them props. It's pretty brazen. Let's see. The missing objects. In total, 8 items were taken. French officials had described the haul as priceless. Beyond the raw value of the precious stones and metals, they have what one minister described as immeasurable heritage value. So look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. Did they drop 5? I think they dropped number 5. Or they don't have a picture of 5? They got a picture. These look pretty fancy. That also looks like something you could pretty much get at any like fake jewelry store too. I mean, I get that these are real. I get that. But I'm just saying they could replace them if they wanted to. Just wouldn't be quite the same. 1 to 3, tiara, necklace, and a pair of earrings worn by Queen Hortense and Queen Marie Amélie. That's 1, 2, and 3. Yeah, that's a nice set. Nice cobalt blue. Looks pretty fancy schmancy. 4 to 5, emerald necklace and earrings given as wedding gift by Napoleon Bonaparte to his second wife, Marie Louise. So it's that 4 and 5. That's a nice wedding gift. Yeah, if it's real. Did she check? Do you think she had it appraised? Insured? I mean, does the Louvre, how do you insure it? Does the Louvre have that insured? There's no way. You can't insure that. Who's going to insure? I mean, these are hundreds of millions of dollars, I think, collectively. At least, I mean, these individually, I think, are all worth tens of millions of dollars. 6 and 7. Pearl and diamond tiara and diamond brooch of Empress Eugenie. Oh, 5 was in 4 and 5. That's where I missed it. That's 6 and 7. Yeah, those go together nicely. They got good taste, I'll tell you. Looks nice. And 8, what do you think 8 is? It's a brooch known as the reliquary brooch, obviously. The reliquary brooch. But it didn't go entirely to plan. The Eugene crown was found damaged on the escape route. Police have confirmed, seemingly dropped. That's schmancy. That's very fancy. That's like the fanciest thing they might have taken, or no? Maybe not. Maybe not. It's probably not. I don't know what looks fancy. My gauge is very different than probably fancy's people's gauges. By 9:35, word was spreading among museum staff that something was happening in the Gallery of Apollo. An alarm sounded in a control room, but it is not clear how widely it was heard. Was it a whistle? Was the alarm on vibrate? Police are still investigating whether it was functioning properly. Obviously, it wasn't. One witness told the BBC he saw guards marching people away from the Gallery of Apollo, while others rushed towards it. Did the ones rushing towards it have yellow vests on? Before leaving at around 9:38, the thieves attempted to set fire to the mechanical ladders that they had used to gain access. But they're metal. Before reportedly mounting Yamaha T-Max scooters, which are capable of reaching over 100 miles per hour and escaping through Paris's narrow streets. 100 miles an hour on a scooter seems precarious, especially when you've got tens of millions of dollars in jewels. But that'd be the way to do it. That'd be definitely like the movie way to do it. Investigators believe they headed south in the direction of the A6 highway, and where they fled remains a mystery. That was good. That was definitely a helpful. That was a helpful kind of collection of information there. Yeah, so that's interesting. So I wonder, is that an inside job? I do have a lot of questions. I definitely. Was that an inside job? Were they hired by somebody to do this? Would they want these specific pieces? Did they go in looking for these specific pieces? When did they case this out? I mean, they're going to have to go back through video, I assume, with AI and things like that. If they can get like a sliver, like a slice of the cake of any kind of identifiers, facial prints, anything like that. My guess is they'll be able to go back through databases and see. I would be surprised if this was the first robbery for this group. Maybe it is together, but this seems professional. This doesn't seem like Ocean's 11 professional. They didn't like hover in from the top of the museum on a tethered rope that was lowering them down mechanically with lasers and stuff like that. I mean, again, they just went to the local hardware store. They grabbed some smash and grab equipment, and they did what anybody on any kind of typical street corner in any part of the world would do for a fake watch. I mean, I don't know. Would do for something of much less value in a much less prestigious museum with much less security. So they had some information, maybe some inside help, something. There's more to this story. We don't quite know it yet. The fact that they also tried to torch their vehicle, that doesn't make sense. Their vehicle's metal. Unless they were trying to set a distraction, they had incendiary devices in there, and they kind of had this planned out. I don't know. I gotta think that they just were intending to make a quick getaway on scooters that go 100 miles an hour. And then, what do you do too? So say there's 4 of you and you steal 8 pieces of, priceless jewelry. So do you each take 2? Do you sit there? Do you divvy it up? And do you try weigh it out? I'm just so curious as to how this all went down. Do you go 4 separate locations and then you all meet up? This is in a different country, or are they just hanging out next door? Little part of me thinks they're like Lupin, and they're just kind of hanging out next door in down in the catacombs. Did they just escape through the catacombs? I'm going to go with that until we get better information, because nobody knows. So my guess is as good as anybody else's out there. And there's going to be more to this story. It's going to be really interesting to hear about it. I'm going to stick with it, try to get a little better sense of it. So maybe come back when we've got a little bit more info on that. But in the meanwhile, hope everybody's got enough power for their day, inside and out. I'm Jonathan the Painter. We're off grid. We're definitely late night here, and be good to yourselves. Be good to the people around you. Definitely catch you soon. Thanks for watching.